Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Branch, the art teacher again. And today we're going to keep drawing with letters. And today I decided to go with the next letter in our series, which is I. So I chose an iguana. Now this is the cutesy iguana made from a lowercase I. And so I said, well, let me see if I can make a realistic one, which I did. And again, we're using a lowercase I. Can you find it? It's the mouth. And there's the little dot. I did that again, but this time on this one, I did the dot and made the dot part of the eye. But anyway, let's get started. All right, so let me go ahead and switch cameras and we'll get to draw both of them. Let me see. Okay. All right, so we'll start with the cutesy one first. And that way, everyone wants to draw the realistic one, you can draw that one second. So the cutesy one, let me get a piece of paper. I'm gonna put that one right there. So it's still in our shot on the screen. And let's see, get a piece of paper. There we go. All right, so we're gonna start with just a piece of paper. And for the cutesy one, we're gonna make him look like he's smiling. So near the bottom of the paper, right here, this is gonna become the top of the paper in a moment, but near the bottom, but not too close to the top, what I'm gonna do is draw a curved eye. There's my little curved eye. And then I'm gonna give it a big dot, like that. And then I can turn it sideways. So now this dot is gonna become the eye, and I can go ahead and put a little circle inside and color it in. This is our cutesy one. And now I have his eye. So now let's go ahead and make the top of the head. So I'm gonna just make a little curve here. And you can put a little nostril in, just color a little bit. And then I'm gonna make like a big letter J around the top of the head. And just that's it, top of the head. And now for the bottom mouth, it's almost the same thing, but in reverse. A little J. And then a big curving one. And it doesn't touch the top one because down here is his cheek, part of his jaw. And on the iguana's jaw, they got this big circle scale. There's a bunch of little ones around it. So you can just draw some. And I did a few on the first one, but you can draw as many as you want on this one. And they can touch also, but I just drew it like this. Now on their chin, they have like some little spikes and some wattle like on a turkey. So right here on the chin, I'm gonna just go 2, 3, 4, and then do a big one. There's the wattle, the little flap of skin that they have. And they have some spikes on their head, but we're gonna do that in a little bit. So now let me go ahead and I'm gonna just do a little straight line for his chest to give us a little room. And let's see, I'm gonna go ahead from the back of the head, just draw a long curved line and stop. Oh, let me move my paper over. Looks like I'm gonna be out of the screen in just a moment. All right, so now the front leg. It kind of looks like, let's see, we're gonna use like a question mark. So the top part of a question mark. And then come down. That one actually looks more like an upside down J than what I was going for, but it's okay. And then I'm just gonna make this part come down a little bit. This is gonna be one of his front legs. And I'm gonna just follow that same line around, but this time I'm gonna make this bottom part come a little closer, like that. So now Miss Branch is left-handed, so I'm gonna have to turn my paper this way a little bit so you guys can see. Now iguanas have 5 fingers and 5 toes, just like humans, but theirs are long and skinny, more like letter V's or W. So what I'm gonna do is just do some zigzags and make them long and skinny for his fingers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there I have one hand. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the other hand on the other side. Now I'm gonna have to make this one a little smaller so it looks like it's on the other side of the body. So let's see, I'm just gonna draw another little curved line and another one that follows it. And again, I'm gonna turn sideways so you guys can see. Again, I'm not gonna make it as big because it's supposed to look like it's a little further away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Little zigzags. for his fingers. Now I'm gonna finish this line, pretend like that's his belly, and come down. I'm not gonna go all the way down, because now I have to put in the back leg. And the back leg is kind of like, like a frog sits or a dog sits. There's something under my paper. Sorry about that, guys. So like a backwards S or a Z, but it has curves in it. So let's see, I'm making like a curving Z. So start there, come back and back. So it's or like a number 2, but this part is longer than it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna just follow that around. And when I get down to this part, I'm gonna bring it in close so it looks like his leg is getting smaller at the bottom. And again, the 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, except these are toes. And let's see, I guess you might be able to see a little bit. Most of the time you see an iguana, their belly is actually touching the ground. I probably could have made his belly a little bigger. Ooh, I'm running out of space. I better make the tail now. All right, so I probably should make the tail first next time I draw this. Anyway, so I'm gonna come around and let his tail come this way. And then I'm gonna just pretend the line comes down past his leg and get smaller, smaller, smaller until I get to the end. Now, some iguanas, you'll see them with spots and you'll see them with stripes. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some little stripes on this tail since I'm down there by the tail. And if you curve it a little bit, it'll help it look more realistic. So I'm gonna curve these edges a little bit. There we go. I'll do one more with curve lines so you guys can see that. Now I need to do little spikes on the back, down his back. And because this is a cutesy one, they're not pointy. So I could just do little scallop lines and they get smaller as they go down his back. Oh, and I could draw a little line here for his belly. And then we have our cutesy iguana. And if you want, let's see, I'm gonna make some zigzaggy lines. So make it look like he's sitting on a rock. And you can put something in the background if you want to. Now this time I'm not coloring so that the videos give you plenty of time, because I went and looked up some iguanas. Not a lot of green ones, but there's some brown and some gray, some red, some blue. You can come up with whatever colors you want to make on your iguana. So let me go ahead and switch this out with the realistic one. All right. So let me put this back in. So this time, we're going to make the I, the lowercase I, more in the middle of the paper. And I didn't have this iguana smiling, but you can make it curve up if you want to, or you can make it curve down. I'm going to probably make mine curve down. That's the way I drew it on this one. But this one's more realistic looking and has more detail. And I did put a background in, which I could have colored, but it's all right. So let's see. You put this here so you guys have something to look at while I'm drawing. And I'm gonna get another sheet of paper. All right, so again, turn your paper vertical first. This time near the top and in the middle area, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a little I, lowercase I, and for its dot, I'm just going about a finger space away. Just make a little circle for the dot instead of just a dot. And now when I turn it this way, I might not have left myself some room. Make sure it's you got room because I got to draw the neck and everything. All right, so let's see. Now for this one, the top of the head, I made it more like a 7, but not pointing. Make sure you make that curve right there. And then I'm just going to come in a little bit and curve up for the top of the head. Like that. So. And now for the bottom part, again, like on the cutesy one, you're gonna just come down for the bottom lip a little bit and then make that big giant C. I probably came up a little bit too much. Let's see, I'm gonna just go ahead and make a circle for the eye, but inside the eye, you're gonna make a curving V. So you get that kind of reptilian eye people. Although I'm not sure if iguana, I'm looking at pictures of iguanas now. Some of them do, some of them don't. Just depends, I guess, just depending on how close they look out to the eye. But I'm gonna leave it like this, make it look more realistic. Now, again, on their chin, they have the wattle, and I'm just going to go ahead but I'm gonna make this one a little more pointy than I did on the cutesy one, and then still come down. It's more like a letter J for that wattle. Now, for the neck, because I have this one looking behind itself, I'm gonna bring and just make like a giant C from here to there. And I'm going to start the first leg in this area right here. And it's more like like a curving 7. But I'll do it in little parts. So right here, I'll just do a little curve. And then I'll come down straight. And I'll make that touch. Well, it's kind of like I turned this into an arrow. I just got that. All right. And so now I'm going to repeat this line, but I'm going to make this part wider and make this part narrow. So it's like it's the big part of the arm, smaller part of the arm. So, but my 7, I'm going to curve a little more like a backwards C. Interesting. All right. Now, again, they have 5 fingers and 5 toes. Their toes and their fingers are really skinny, kind of like a tree frog, and they have these little claws at the end. But I'm just going to stick with the 5 zigzags or W's. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the other hand here. I probably should have came in a little more, but anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now I have the front legs done. Now let's keep going for the body a bit. I'm gonna just draw a line here. I guess a little longer. There we go. We can go there. That looks good. Now for this back leg, it looks like a letter C, but it has a point like the end of a football. So kind of like that. There we go. And then I'm going to do another curved line coming out of the middle for the front back leg. And more than likely it's laying down. So I'm going to just add another little line. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now up here, I'm going to start his back. Now I'm going to have a little hump right here where his hips would be. So I'm just going to come and a little curve like so. And the matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and finish this and make his tail. Now his tail is more like an S. So all I'm going to do is start with an S over here. And come and connect. I probably could have made this part a little longer, but it's okay. Now I'm going to give it a three-dimensional feel. So I'm just going to, from here, I'm just going to curve until I touch that line. And on this side, I'm going to curve until I touch the line back again. And then from here, I'm just going to bring that around and kind of connect behind the leg. So there I have my more realistic looking iguana so far. Now, let's see. We got to add some details. And let's go back up to the head. And I'm going to add that big circle. And I can make some little ones around where that eye was. The dot for the eye becomes part of that design on the iguana. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put my spikes on. Now, some spikes are big, some are small. But it's going to be more like with my W's. And they're going to get smaller a little bit because they're going to go behind. And I'm just going to pretend they keep coming. And they're going to get smaller. And then more zigzaggy as I get closer. Oops, went down the wrong line to the tail. So I'm gonna make that line a little thicker since I accidentally made my zigzags go that way instead of in the middle line. I forgot where it was going a little bit. I got a little confused. I do that too from time to time. Now, they have scaly skin, but I'm just going to go ahead and just put a few big scales here and there. So that's a lot of work to draw the scales. And let's see, I can do what I didn't do on this one. I did some shading to make it look like he was sitting on the ground. But I could also do a little line for belly. All right, so there's my more realistic looking iguana. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add like a little horizon line like I did in the other one. Throw a few bushes in. Doesn't have to look like anything in particular. If you want to add a few branches in, go right ahead. And put like a little rock. Let me think. Let's see. Just a little look like ground clutter, like leaves and stuff on the ground. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. And there we have. So we have our iguana made look a little more like a realistic one. And we have our cutesy looking iguana. So you can pick which one you want to draw, or you can draw both. Let me, I feel like I left all this blank. Let me put a bush back here. Now I feel better. Okay. And a little bush over here. All right, everyone. So let me switch my cameras again. So everyone, I hope to see you in the next video. Well, I won't see you in the video, but I'll see you in the next video. So here's our cutesy iguana made from a lowercase I. Uh-oh. And here's our realistic iguana made from a lowercase I. And it's totally up to you if you want to do one or both. There we go. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.